Okay, so this is just a little mini-sode with me and also Kevin.
Yeah, just a little bit of a short thing
Yeah,
that we're just kind of doing offhand.
yeah. Because I forgot the past episode that I completely forgot to tell a work story I wanted to tell.
Yeah.
I would have also told this to Saradin as well, but he had to go for a while, so we're just doing it now while he's gone.
So, Saradin, better luck next time.
Yeah, no, I mean he can watch the video if you
Oh
want.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's why we're recording it. Actually, it's the secret motivation.
Content.
Yep, yep. Content. I really wish I'd done this in the fucking episode. But anyway, so I have a work story from like I think about a week ago. It was last Sunday.
Okay, all right.
So they brought in this guy, and I was supposed to train him. This is like the third guy I've trained in my position.
Yeah.
I forget his name. I completely forget his name, but I will describe. I will do my best to describe him to you because he was quite a character. I want you. Do you know Jack Packard?
No, I do not. Not offhand.
He's the bald guy from Red Letter Media and also the
Oh,
Escapist.
okay. Okay. I know the guy now.
Yeah,
I know exactly the
yeah.
guy.
He looked kind of like that, except a little shorter and older. This guy was 59 years old, and he made a big deal out of the fact that he was 59 years old. He mentioned several
Okay.
times that he was 59 years old. So I just want to reiterate, 59-year-old man.
Okay. Because clearly this was important to him and therefore important to the story.
Yeah, yeah, clearly. So anyway, I was training this 59-year-old man. Remember that.
Okay.
And this guy, in the past week, has developed quite a reputation around the restaurant that I work at. And
How so?
so training this guy and just interacting with this guy was, I consider it a treat. Everyone else has varyingly different opinions on the matter. So I'm just gonna ramble off about how weird this man was. Okay, so he's coming in and he's trying to train for both the so at this restaurant that I work at, there's two positions that are technically the same job, but usually
Yeah.
you gravitate to one or the other. It's the general dishy position. So there's the dishwashing portion and the pot scrubbing. I am the pot scrubber. 99% of the time, I am scrubbing pots in the back. I don't.
Pot scrubber.
Yeah, I don't usually do the dishes. I'll only do it. I will only do it if we're really slow and like they don't have
Yeah.
anyone else or they're just But it's a thing. So anyway, I'm training him on pots and he's trying to also train with the dish guy at the same time. So this guy decides the best way to do that is to just keep going back and forth between us while we're trying to explain shit to him.
Oh no.
So that's the first
No,
sign.
no.
Yeah. So training him was interesting because I would be explaining something to him, and then I'd turn around and he's just not there. He's just gone. He's either asking the owner something or he's going back to train with the dish guy,
Oh god.
and I'm like, bro, like I got, it's twofold because I got shit to do, but also when I don't have shit to do, I'm trying to listen to I'm trying to chill in the chair. I mean, by that I mean the stock pot and listen to my podcasts. I can't do that if you're just going to keep coming back and interrupting me for me to train you again. So there's that. Or he'd just be asking people. The main thing this guy has become infamous for around the kitchen is the fact that he would not shut the fuck up.
Oh no.
This guy, and I know exactly why, because I know why, because he explained it to me in explicit detail. He had worked in like a factory floor setting for like the past
Yeah.
2 decades.
Oh.
And that's one of those jobs where like it is so monotonous and routine that when you're on the line with all those other guys, you're just chatting the entire fucking time.
Yeah, like you got like there's nothing else you can do. Like you just
Yeah.
need to keep you need to keep yourself occupied in some regard and like, hey, there are people right next to you doing the exact same monotonous bullshit. Just start talking.
Yeah. So in that position, you just talk, because like most factories aren't going to let you like plug in like music or podcasts on the factory floor for safety reasons. So you just talk, and there's a certain kind of factory talking that I know of from people who have worked on factory floors.
Yeah.
And it's where you just keep it going. Like no matter how banal the observation, no matter how much you're repeating yourself, you just keep it going. And this guy had fucking mastered this art form. So
the master of factory talking.
yeah. But even for a factory talker, this guy was just weird. And okay, so while I was in the middle of training him, he dragged me. I was just trying to show him where the fuck the trash can is, because I was trying to run him through my routine. And one of the first things I do when I come in is I go outside, I grab the trash can, bring it in, and put the trash bag over it. The trash bag where all the food scraps and shit go. I was just trying to show him, hey, this is where the trash can is going to usually be, out in the break area. And he pulls me into the parking lot because he really wants to know if it's okay where he parked. So he's pulling me along, and he's showing me where he...
It's the pot scrubber if it's okay where he parked.
Yeah, yes. And he asked me this several times before I took him outside, and as soon as I took him outside, he saw it as an invitation to just pull me aside all the way out to the very ass end of the parking lot and show me where he parked and ask me if it's okay. And he parked in like a little side lot next to the far end of the lot. So I've explained to you before that this parking lot, and I'm going to explain for the listener now, that this parking lot is shaped like it's shaped like a phone, you know, like a rotary, a phone, like it's shaped like a big, like, horseshoe-like shape. On that side where he parked, in the busy season, that's usually locked off for valet parking. And I told him that. I told him, okay, it's probably fine, but sometimes of the year, you can't park here because there's going to be valet parking. But he parked in like a side lot next to that side of the lot, and I'm going to be honest, I don't even know if that's our parking lot. I think it is, because I can't imagine what else it would be for, but I don't actually know if that's our parking lot. But I'm like 95% sure it's our parking lot, so I'm like, it's probably fine. You should ask the boss, but it's probably fine. He's like, oh, I should ask the boss, yeah. And then he starts talking, and then he starts pointing out random cars in the parking lot and telling me things he knows about those cars. And I'm like, fascinating. Didn't ask. So he's just rattling off information about these cars, and he
just banal info.
And no matter how many times I told him, look, I think it's probably fine right now. I'll tell you in the future that there's valet parking here, so don't get used to it. I would park on the other side, because that's always going to be open to employees. So I would recommend parking on the other side. I think it's fine that you park there for now. I would talk to the boss about it. I don't actually know. He just kept expressing the same exact anxiety about that he was going to get in trouble for where he parked. And I'm like, I don't know. Go talk to the boss about it. But he's just out there, and he's talking to me about all these different cars. And the other thing that he kept talking about was that I would keep trying to explain things to him, and he'd be on his phone, and he did that old person thing where he can't fucking type. When he wanted to know something, he doesn't type it in to like Google or whatever. He'll do like the audio recognition thing, and he'll hold it up to his mouth and be like,
oh god, that.
Yeah, and he'll like ask like with the voice command.
Oh fuck.
And what he would keep asking was, I guess there was a big football thing going on at the time. So he kept asking, like, fucking how the Browns were doing, or how the Steelers were doing. Most of the Steelers. He was a big Steelers guy. And he seemed very perturbed by the fact that there were not a lot of Steelers fans in this North Ohio kitchen.
Real deal breaker. Not a whole lot of Steelers fans here. Yeah, it's a big deal. Big deal breaker here.
Yeah,
2 stars.
Yeah, because he kept asking everyone in the restaurant who worked there, and even I think some of the guests even, if they were like Steelers fans, and they'd be like, "No, I like the Browns." And he'd be like, and he'd just be like, and he'd be like, "Oh, the Browns. The Browns. Oh, yeah, they're having a time, aren't they? The Browns, you know." So yeah, and he was. It never felt like he was actually paying attention to what I was trying to show him, because I'd show him these things and he'd just be like, yeah. Hey, how are the Browns doing? How are the Steelers doing? It's like he'd either be talking on his phone, he'd be asking someone else for something, or he'd be trying to do two different training things at once.
Oh my god.
And I cannot iterate enough how this man would not shut up. And the boss even came around by and told him, "We don't need you right now. Like if you've learned what you need to, you can go." And he'd be like, "No, I'll stay. I'll just I mean, I'm already here." I learned, because he told us, because of course he told us, that he did not live in the area. He lived quite far from here.
Okay.
I think, just judging on the area he told us, I think his drive over was probably about 50 minutes.
Oh.
And I'm
like,
boy. In my head, I'm just going, was there nothing closer? Why would you?
I feel like you could have found like at least a few jobs a little closer to home.
And the other interesting thing was, and this is another thing he kept telling us, he can only work on the weekends. Here's the problem: they already have people to do the weekends. Like, the other guy does Saturdays, I do Sundays. So like, there's no opening for the weekend specifically. Yeah. And he kept reiterating how he could only work weekends, but like he might be able to work weekdays in the future. He doesn't know. He has to like clear it with someone. I don't know. And the boss is just like, well, I don't know if I can get you in for weekends. And it was like this back and forth thing where like he'd just keep regurgitating the same information. It was like talking to like a AI. It was very strange. So he wouldn't shut up. He would get on these weird tangents about things. He didn't seem to pay much attention to the training. He was, again, 59 years old.
Which you mentioned multiple times.
Which is interesting because, like, it's just an interesting age to be applying for a position like this, because, like, he's not elderly, but he ain't a spring chicken, you know?
He ain't young.
He kept saying it, and I kept thinking about it, because I'm like, 59 years old. 59 years old. That's like, it's like old, but it's not super old. Like, it's like,
yeah.
He's aged, but he's not elderly yet. It's an interesting age.
Yeah.
I was like, that's an interesting age.
You are in your wiser years, but like,
I don't know if I'd use that word with him.
But Zeke, he's 59.
Yeah, and so like ever since then, on the other days I've been working since then, people would come up to me and be like, "So how was your time with your new talkative friend?" And I'd just be like, "I'm like, he sure did, he sure was." And today, they said that again, and the chef was talking about him, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think he was paying much attention. If he doesn't know something. I went over everything pretty thoroughly. If he doesn't know something, that's not my fault. And he just looks me in the chef just looks me in the eye and he goes, "I don't think he's coming back again." I don't think he's coming back. I think he and the boss had a talk, and the boss was like, "You know what, we'll be in touch."
which is boss talk for get the fuck out of my store.
Yeah, I don't think he gelled, because I think
I don't think so either. No.
Yeah. Our back of house specifically, we are not a quiet bunch, but we're a focused bunch. We'll talk, but like casually, intermittently, not constantly. We got our music, we got our podcasts. We communicate the level that needs to be communicated, and we'll joke around sometimes, but like we're not talking constantly. Like it doesn't fit the vibe.
Yeah.
Among other things, like the guy just didn't seem to pay much attention, and from what I'm told, when he was working, he was very easily distracted, which doesn't surprise me given my interactions with him. He seemed... the thought that ran through my mind was that this guy, this 59-year-old man,
a very important detail, very important detail.
I suspect that he has Probably some undiagnosed ADHD or something.
Probably.
Because
that is entirely possible.
He seemed, because I kept going back to that 59 years old thing, because I was like, that is just old enough to be from a time when people didn't diagnose these things.
Yeah.
So I think he probably has something like that, that he has never learned any kind of mechanisms for. He's never become cognizant of it. So, you know, he's just this 59-year-old man, lost out of time. You know, it was very interesting. It was an interesting experience, but I don't think I'm ever gonna see him again. Apparently, so.
Well, at the very least, you have this wonderful story to, share with whomever.
Yeah.
You had your time with him.
Yeah. So that's the story of the time I had to train a 59-year-old man, who I will remind
He
you.
just would not shut up.
Yeah, I know several things about him. He would not shut up. He was a factory floor worker. The other thing is that, like, he would tell people. People would ask, where did you used to work? And then he just point to his shirt and be like, there. Because then he had the name of the company he used to work at on his shirt. But
yeah.
let me tell you one thing about this company. I don't know what the fuck it was, and nobody knew what the fuck it was. This was not. He pointed to it like it answered everyone's questions, like it was some super recognizable. Like he was wearing like a Ford shirt or a General Electric shirt or something. No, this company, no one had ever heard of them.
It's like, have you not heard of this? It's like, no, I have not.
No, like not a well-known company, even locally, not a super well-known company.
You know he only wore that shirt just in case somebody asked him that question. You know he did.
Oh yeah, because like his mind is just geared towards just keep the conversation going, no matter how banal and annoying it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the work story I forgot to tell on the podcast, but now it's here for your listening consumption.
At long last. Yeah, no, oh my god, wow. The shit the kind of people that you come across in the work industry, just like you basically work in the service industry at this point.
Essentially.
So like, the people you meet in the service industry, both behind and in like, oh god, both in terms of like your coworkers, the people you have to train, as well as like actual customers, can be so fucking varied and unique.
Yeah.
So, like, in the kind of job that you work, even if it's something as, kind of like tucked into the corner as being the pot scrubber.
Yeah.
Like, even that, there is just, there's still a lot of opportunity for you to just find just the most interesting people to talk about.
Yeah. He was quite a character. I'm not sure I may forget his name, but I won't forget him.
The experience alone was enough.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, just wanted to say that since I forgot on the show. We'll see you on the next episode.